Hey guys! So today, I'm sure you've already guessed it by now, but we are talking about albums. These guys. So there are essentially three different things I want to talk to you about with these. So we're going to talk about the album cover options, the paper options that goes on the inside of the album, and then the boutique bags and their different options. So I literally have a table full of samples right in front of me that I'm just staring at because there are so many different things, but I figured this was an easier way to give you a visual representation of the different options instead of just me blurting out all of the different options because there are a lot. So the first thing we will talk about is the album cover options. So the one option is the entire book front and back as one material. So this one is one of the vintage leathers, but then there's also fabrics, different textures, suedes, a lot of different options to choose from. So this is just one of them. By the way, this is the 10 by 10 album, just so you can see like a comparison. And this one is a 6 by 6. Okay, so there is that. Then the next one is going to be the custom photo cover. So this is printed on a soft matte paper. If you've already had an engagement session with me, this will look very similar to the engagement session custom USB case. So it's printed on the same material, just a little bit bigger. Front and back can be an image, all that good stuff. And then the last option will be a combo cover. So this is just a combination of the two of them. So you have your custom photo right here, and then the rest of the album cover is whatever material that you choose. This one right here is one of the linens. You can kind of see. And then again, this is printed on that soft matte paper. So as far as the albums go, I personally, like my personal preference is the combo cover or any of the leathers. I really like the look of this, but I also like the look of the combo cover too, because it gives you, you know, that nice, well, depending on which material, but most of them have a nice texture to them, so kind of just adds a little something visually to looking at your album. And it's nice to, I like the linens, especially the fabrics, because I mean, as you can see on the leather, granted this has been handled a million times, but you can kind of start to see like the oil, you know, from your hands, and some, you know, some of the scratch marks. But then again, it's leather, so if you get any of those scratch marks, it kind of adds texture to it. So it's just a preference thing. But those are the two that I like. And then here's another sample that I have. This is a white leather. I don't know if you can see the texture. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but there's that one. So I'm just gonna hold up the different sample options that I have in front of me, which I'm gonna take pictures of them and put them underneath this video, so that way you can actually like look at them and see the texture, just in case this video isn't picking it up on camera. So so you don't have to like pause and stare at them. They'll all be below. So here are 4 of the leathers. Now there's a lot of different leathers, so I have them sectioned by the different types of leathers, so I'm just gonna go through each of them. But these are just the regular leathers, pretty classic colors. These are the vintage leathers, which, as you already saw, is that guy right there. I really love these. I love all of them. But there's those. Next one we'll do the alligator leather if you're into that kind of print and pattern. It has that texture to it. The premium leathers, just black and white, you can kind of see the texture, which is what... No, this one isn't the premium. I was gonna say, this one is just the classic leather, which I can show you closer up. And then the faux leathers. Now there are a lot of different colors with the faux leathers, which is kind of nice. It gives you a good variety, especially if you want like that pop of teal or any of those. And these are very, very soft too. So there are these tones, and then here are some more. So those are the different faux options. Next, I'll show you the linens, because I feel like the leathers and the linens are the most popular. So here are all of these colors, which I like, you know, the more earthy colors, but then you have your pops of blues and pinks if that's what you prefer. And then this one is one of the linens, as you can see. And we have the mineral collection, which gives like, it's like a nice sheen and a lot of texture to them. I really like the copper. But again, it's just your personal preference, whatever you prefer. And then the suede. There's a few different colors to choose from in the suede. These are really soft too. And the last one is the floral collection. So again, something actually has a pattern on it, but it has that sheen. And I think that is all of the album cover options. So the next thing I want to move on to are the boutique bags, which are these guys right here. So these essentially are just a home for your albums, to keep them safe, to protect them, all that good stuff. So there are essentially two different groupings. There's the linens and satins. So here are the linens. I have the aqua, black, cream and oatmeal, which I do have the oatmeal linen right here, kind of see. And then here are the satins. I'll hold 3 up at a time because my hands aren't big enough. Here's the taupe, the classic black, and the cream, which cream, taupe, classic black. Obviously, oh wait, that's chocolate, not classic black. Obviously prefer the satins over the linens, but here's the classic black. And then graphite and slate. So just to kind of show you these two, because they're both grays, but the slate is more of a neutral gray, I'd say, and then the graphite has more of like a blue tint to it, so you can kind of see, and it's darker too. So I mean, like I said, I prefer the satin over the linen, just because, as you can see, the linen tends to wrinkle. But mind you, this comes with me everywhere. It comes to all my client meetings with me, so it's in and out of a bag, on and off of a table, in and out of hands. Like, obviously it's gonna get wrinkly, but these also travel in my bag and they're good to go. So just to give you guys an idea, so the satin bags, they kind of vary. So some of them come with the button loop option, or the satin ribbon option, or this little bow option. Just depends on the color. So if you have a preference, whenever you go to choose one, you can ask me which it comes with. Otherwise, I tend to just go with the classic ribbon. The next thing I want to show you guys are a few of the album bag combos that I like personally. Obviously, there's a lot more album cover options versus bag options, so it's sometimes can be a little bit tricky to decide, and especially trying to figure out which colors go, which materials go best. So I just want to show you a few of them that I like, and again, this is just my preference, and this is just a few. There's so many different combinations that you can do. One that my last album that I ordered had a taupe boutique bag with the faux leather in navy, which I thought was a really nice combination. I think they look really nice together. And another one, let's see, go with the oatmeal linen. Actually, it's one of the combinations that I have. So I like this leather, this vintage leather with the oatmeal linen bag. I think those look great, but again, neutrals can kind of, you have so many options with that. And this one I don't have a printed sample of, but I can show you the chocolate boutique bag. I think looks awesome with the sage linen. It's very earthy, but again, when you're choosing your album cover, your boutique bag cover, your paper, what type of paper you want your images on the inside of the album printed on, those, I mean, they're all your choice, but I also, if you don't know where to start, a good idea is to think about your wedding colors or the theme or vibe of your wedding and what types of things could tie in very nicely from the images on the inside to the outside of the album, the way the album looks, the way it's presented to you. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about are the different paper options that your album is printed on. So there is a luster paper and a watercolor paper. And I'm just gonna try, hopefully this kind of shows you, gives you an idea. You can kind of see a little bit of sheen to it. This is the luster paper, and it's more of a satin finish, so it's not glossy, it's not completely matte. If you've gotten proofs from me in the past, proof images, the paper that is printed on is this paper, is luster. So just imagine the way your proofs look in an album. This is a very versatile paper. It works with pretty much any wedding. Honestly, it's very timeless, very classic. You really can't go wrong with this paper. I feel like this is the paper that most people choose. But another option is the watercolor paper, which is more of a fine art paper. It's very textured. It mattifies the image a little. Like, I don't think it's like super matte, but you can kind of see for yourself. So it's not like incredibly matte, but there's no sheen to it. You can kind of see the different texture to it, and it doesn't, I don't want to say it dulls the images, but it definitely desaturates them a little bit. But you still, you can still see that pop of color. It's not like it's really taking away from the image. If anything, I think the texture kind of adds to the images a little bit more. This type of paper I think works very, very well for images with deeper and richer colors in it. Any wooded pictures, any pictures with, different shades of greens, different, deeper colors. So it really just depends on your preference. I can try, I'll show you another one so you can kind of see. I love this paper, but it's not for everyone, so it's really your preference. I'm going to try, this could be completely disastrous, but I'm going to try and hold up both of them at the same time so you can get a side-by-side comparison. We'll see if this works. I'm going to show you, we'll do an image with flowers with the bouquet so you can kind of get a better idea. Okay. Hopefully that is working. Yeah, you can kind of see. So the bottom is definitely, this is the watercolor, it's definitely a little bit more matte. The top, you can definitely see that sheen to it as I move it. You can see the colors are a little bit more vibrant, but again, it's all personal preference. It's your album. It's whatever you want. If you want my opinion, I will gladly chime in, but you by no means have to listen to me because it's your album. So I think that covers everything. Again, any of these samples, you know, any of the different album option samples and the boutique bag option samples, I'm going to have images below of, so that way you don't have to like pause this video as you're watching it and you can really get like a better sense of what type of texture the options have and all that good stuff. So all of those pictures are going to be below this video, so you can definitely look at those and refer to those, especially if you're going to be having to choose between these options for an album. Make sure you save this blog so that way you can just reference it and it'll hopefully help you out a lot. And if you like these videos that I'm doing, because I'm just trying to make it easier for you guys, because there's a lot that goes into making an album, so I don't want it to feel like a ton of work, because it's so worth the final product that you get, that I just don't want you to know that you have so many different things to choose from that it just gets overwhelming. If you break it down, you know, into the different things that you have to do, it's really not that bad. I actually have fun choosing things like leathers and all that good stuff, but to each their own. So if these videos are helpful to you, if you want to see more of these types of videos, maybe not for making an album, but maybe for other things, please let me know, because I just want to make things easier for you and give you guys things that help you guys. So sound off in the comments below or send me an email. I will gladly love to hear what you have to say. Any feedback is, you know, good for me. But that should be it. And then next week we are going to be talking about something else for albums. So definitely tune in for next week. And I think that's it. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.